Welcome to Honey Bee. Real stories of love, lies, and betrayal, where every truth stings. Let's begin. My name is Ivan. After years of marriage, I came across something in my wife's bag I never expected to see: men's lubricant. She had no idea what I did after that discovery. That night started off like any other, until my phone charger finally gave out completely. It had been unreliable for weeks, but now it stopped working altogether. I had already ordered a new one, but it wouldn't arrive until the next day, and my phone battery was barely at 12%. Over the past few months, my wife had been coming home later and later. She always said it was because of work. I trusted her without hesitation. Back then, I was the type of husband who believed every word she said, who brushed off her late arrivals, who didn't question her excuses, who assumed the best instead of letting darker thoughts creep in. The first time she stayed out unusually late was about 3 months before everything unraveled. She walked in around 9:30, apologizing, claiming a client meeting had gone long. I warmed up her dinner, asked about her day, and thought nothing of it. That was my mistake, though I didn't know it then. The late nights soon became more frequent, first once a week, then twice, then almost every night. Each time, she had a reasonable explanation: project deadlines, demanding clients, or team meetings. I never doubted her. Around the same time, I noticed other small changes I brushed off. She guarded her phone constantly, even taking it into the bathroom. She started showering the moment she got home, saying she felt grimy after long hours at work. She was often distracted when we talked, checking her phone mid-conversation. Our intimacy dropped sharply, and when I asked about it, she blamed stress and promised things would improve once her projects were done. I believed her because I wanted to. The alternative was unbearable. That evening, she walked in late again. A quick hello, no eye contact, then straight to the bedroom. Moments later, I heard the shower running, her new routine. She would spend 20 or 30 minutes in there, which I thought was just her way of relaxing. Now I realized she was washing away evidence of things I never imagined. With my phone about to die, I decided to borrow her charger. Since we always shared each other's things, I reached into her bag. Among her usual work items, my hand landed on something unexpected: a bottle of men's lubricant. Next to it was an unopened pack of morning-after pills. I froze, holding them in disbelief. The lubricant was half empty, showing recent use. The pill pack had clearly been bought but not yet used. These weren't things someone carried around casually. Standing there in our bedroom, I felt the ground slip out from under me. My mind scrambled for explanations, but none fit within the bounds of a faithful marriage. I put everything back and stepped away, but my thoughts spun. The truth was obvious: she wasn't just working late. She was with someone else. Someone who needed that lubricant. Someone she trusted enough to risk needing emergency contraception. Later, when she joined me in the living room, I asked about her day. Her answers felt vague and rehearsed. When I pressed for details, she stumbled and changed the subject. She claimed she'd stayed late working on a presentation, but couldn't say what industry the client was in. She mentioned collaborating with a colleague, but couldn't recall specifics. Her eyes kept avoiding mine, and her phone buzzed repeatedly with notifications she checked instantly, each time with an expression I couldn't read. I barely heard a word she said. My mind kept circling back to the lubricant, the pill pack, the betrayal. The thought of her being with someone else physically crushed me. And the risks she was taking, sleeping with someone unprotected, made it even worse. That night, after she went to bed, I returned to her bag. I looked at the pill pack again and noticed one pill was missing. My fears were confirmed. This wasn't just suspicion. She had cheated, recently and deliberately. Something inside me broke. It wasn't only my heart, it was my trust, my faith in the woman I thought I knew, and my confidence in my own judgment. The lies stretched back months, maybe longer. Every night she'd looked me in the eye while feeding me excuses. Every time I worried for her or offered to help, she had been deceiving me. Then an idea struck me. If she was using that lubricant with another man, I could make sure of it. I emptied the bottle into my toolbox, replaced it with superglue, and put it back exactly as I found it. The whole process felt surreal, but I was careful. A part of me knew this was wrong, that I should confront her or walk away. But another part of me, the part that was humiliated and broken, wanted undeniable proof. In the following days, she acted normal on the surface, though I watched her closely. I scrutinized every word, every kiss, every late-night text that lit up her phone. Pretending to be a regular husband while secretly investigating her betrayal tore me apart. I barely slept, lying awake wondering how long this had been happening. The confirmation came on a Friday night. She stayed out late again, and when I called, she finally answered, saying she was in the hospital. Her voice was strained and trembling. She gave me the name of the hospital and her room number but offered no explanation. When I arrived, I found her in the emergency ward, pale and hooked up to medical equipment. The moment our eyes met, I saw it: guilt, recognition. She knew. There was no denial, no surprise. She understood exactly why she was there. I looked at her and called her what she was: a cheat. Then I turned and left. That 2-minute exchange marked the end of our marriage. The drive home was a blur. Relief, anger, regret. I realized what I'd done could have caused serious harm. Superglue bonds instantly with moisture and can cause burns, tissue damage, even permanent injury. And yet, I didn't feel guilt for exposing her betrayal. The marriage was already dead. The divorce was inevitable. She filed assault charges, while my lawyer countered with evidence of her infidelity, framing my act as a reckless prank. Since we both worked and had no children, our assets were split evenly. The process dragged on for months, draining us both emotionally and financially. All of it, the end of our marriage, the legal battles, stemmed from a broken phone charger. If that $15 piece of plastic hadn't failed, I might never have searched her bag. I might have gone on believing her lies for years. Looking back, I know I could have handled it differently. I could have confronted her, filed for divorce, or sought counseling. Instead, I chose a path that revealed the truth but also inflicted damage. The experience showed me how betrayal can twist a person into doing things they never imagined. It taught me that revenge rarely heals, it only deepens the wounds. Now, I'm rebuilding. Learning to trust again, but more cautious. I watch for red flags instead of ignoring them. I ask hard questions. And I accept that sometimes uncovering the truth, no matter how painful, is better than living in ignorance. Trust is fragile. Once broken, it's nearly impossible to restore. My marriage ended, but life moves forward. What remains are lessons burned into me, about betrayal, choices, and the cost of revenge.